This weekend, we went to go see the Elvis movie with my mom. Yes, all four of my siblings felt that it was totally appropriate to see this movie for the first time with the woman who met Elvis twice, and he kissed her. This is my mom standing in front of the International Hotel in Las Vegas. This was back in the early 70s when she was in high school. She's the one on the left in the brown. This was a photo of the second time she and her friend met Elvis. They drove all the way to his show in Vegas. I'm going to let her tell those stories in her own words. But I can only imagine what things would have been like if they would have had smartphones back then. My mom could have captured so much on an iPhone, but unfortunately we just have a couple of pictures and an autograph to show for it. As we watched my mom reminisce during the movie, she became part of the movie as though she was transported back in time and narrating every part of the movie just as she recalled it from back in the day. I could see why this movie was so captivating. After all, when we were kids, my mom had us watch all of Elvis's movies. We listened to his 8-tracks and his records while we did our Saturday morning chores. Our dad, who was the lead singer in a band, could sing just like Elvis, and he often impersonated Elvis's music on long car rides. So you can see Elvis's legacy was an early influence in our lives, even though he passed away before my older sister Krista was even born. His music was a huge influence on our lives as he captivated and inspired us. Yes, that's why Elvis is a legend.
Just tell us the story about how you met Elvis.
Where was the Howard
First
Johnson?
time I met him, I was talking to the band, and then they said that the limos were going east. We went to the Joseph Smith Memorial. Back then it was the Hotel Utah, and we were in the lobby trying to get up there and meet him, and two people came up, guys, and said, you know, do you want to go to a party? And I said, no, I want to go to see Elvis. And they said, honey, Elvis is on a jet plane out of here, so come to the party. And then after they chased us through their hotel suites for a while, they opened up a door, and there he was, his dad, his entourage, his cousins, the whole, deal, the whole band. And then we met him there and were serenaded, and oh yes, he did play the piano. He was playing the piano and sang. So that was the first time. Second time, we went up and down in the elevator in the Howard Johnson Hotel, up and down, and the bodyguards kept saying, down girls.
Where's the Howard Johnson?
Downtown, right along
in Salt Lake as well?
West of the temple somewhere. And finally we were flirting with somebody, they let us in, and we got into the Howard Johnson, and we were in a small room. It was more of a small room with his girlfriend, who was a blonde, his dad, a couple of friends, and us, and he played a lot of Jim Croce songs, and we would request song after song, a couple hours in there, and he'd sing to us. And
Did you ever
then
meet the Colonel?
And then we rode down in the elevator with him, and then we left. Oh, and the first time I met him at the Hotel Utah, I told him he had nice green eyes. I told him he's nice looking. I said, I loved your movies. He said, let's not talk about those. I said, what would you do if I went like this? Because he knew karate, and he goes, don't ever do that. and then I said a couple other things, and then he went to shake my hand, and I said a handshake instead of a kiss, and then he gave me a little kisseroo.
And you got his autograph.
And then the guy that sang the deep baritone in all of his albums, the deep baritone singer in his band, said, honey, let's get you up closer to him. You need to see Elvis. Everybody else has seen him, so he pushed me closer to the piano. Aww. And I got his autograph on a little stationery from the hotel, but it got a hole in it. I tried to sell it at Christie's auction in New York, and they'd only give me $400 to $600, so I saved it. And then you guys, Lindsay tried to sell it on the internet and said everybody was selling for $20. I finally sold it to a lady for $100 with some bunch of other autographs because it had a hole in it. And the one last thing I'll say, and some girls came in and rushed the party at the Hotel Utah, and they said, can we stay? And some of the guys in Elvis's band said, yeah, if you get rid of your dates. So they did. And he was everything you saw. I saw Tom Jones in concert, Engelbert Humperdinck, and lots of others, but none of them had what Elvis had. Elvis had charisma and charm like none other, just like in the movie. if you whatever he said, you would do because he was that mesmerizing and charismatic. That's good for now.
That's awesome.
Anything else you want to know?
What's going on over here?
No. So you went to the International Hotel.
But he spent more time talking to me than anybody else in that private party at Howard Johnson's. His girlfriend just sat like this, and her eyes just kept getting bloodshot, and she didn't say hello, hi, nothing. She sat like a statue. And meanwhile, me and my girlfriend kept saying, play another song.
What
you know
year?
this song. Come on.
What year was that, Mom?
Oh, man, that had to be like in 71 or 2 or somewhere in there.
Wow.
I had hot pants on, that's why I got it.
I'm gonna go insert a photo right here in this part of the video of you in your hot pants. So I think we've all seen that.
Let's see
I don't
that.
think I've ever
Cool, Mom.
You'd like to see it now?
You want to put some hot pants on right now,
How
Mom?
was the movie, Mom? Was it?
Did you like the movie? Was it like Elvis?
Oh my gosh, I thought Elvis came back. I bet Priscilla Presley's, I bet she's gone crazy in
I
Lisa
just saw
Marie.
Grandma Wanda turn over in her grave.
Oh my gosh, but
What did
Elvis
your
was,
father think about Elvis?
my dad didn't like Elvis at all. He just got,
What did he think when he found out you met him?
he didn't care. But my mother told me she was going to whip me to get in the house before Edmund woke up. And I kept saying, but Mom, I've got Elvis. I've got his photograph, I've got his autograph, I've got his stuff, and I've got his everything. And she's like, get in this house right now. Get in this house before Edmund wakes up. And I said, but Mom, I've got Elvis. And, but Elvis was famous for saying, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Or they said, Elvis has left the building. Every time I went to a concert, Elvis has left the building because nobody would leave.
But it
till
wasn't true, huh?
They wanted to find him.
He was always in the building.
Mom, so did you like the movie then?
Oh, I loved it. It was the most, because I've seen a lot of them. Kurt Russell played him, remember? But this is the most accurate, mesmerizing thing I've ever seen. It was just like I was reliving everything. And, everything. Even as I saw him, the drugs. Each time I saw him, he got a little fatter and a little, and the last time I saw him, I thought, what is going on with him? He just is going down the hill.
Now you know.
Okay.
The first time I met him, he looked really good, and then it was boom, and then boom.
Do you think whoever made this movie should do one of Michael Jackson and tell his story?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, they're
The
icons.
stories parallel. Don't you think their
Yes,
stories
they parallel. They do.
Okay.
But now I understand more the drugs. But I always knew that his mom was either on I always said she was on pills or something because her and Elvis both had these dark circles under their eyes. They both died young, and they both were sad. And Elvis never got over the death of his brother. He felt guilt from that his twin had died. And his mother was like he said, But this was the dark side of Elvis. And I've never quite seen this. Everything I've ever seen is he's yes ma'am and sweet and giving everybody cars and money and just sweet as can be. So
Sometimes the saddest people are the nicest.
but yes, I remember he did shoot out the TV and all kinds of crazy things. Everything they did was so accurate.
Do you think he looks like your grandson Kyler?
Yes, I always said that Kyler was a blonde Elvis.
I'm gonna insert a picture of him.
But Elvis Presley's hair is medium light brown, and he dyes it. He was never his dad. More in between his dad and his mom. His
Do you
hair
like him
color.
better as a blonde or
Darker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
tan.
that's a wrap.
But the thing that got the girls to go crazy about was his charisma. His
Was it the
charisma. Yeah, his charisma, the smile and the charisma.
Okay. Well, show
And
us.
I always said Cameron had a lot of that. I always said Cameron had a lot of that
Cameron's got
charisma.
Oh yeah.
You got charisma, brother.
Yep. I looked a
Thank you
lot
very
like
much.
you did after 42.
But you
Krista.
had that sex appeal, that.
Thank you. Oh,
know.
you're talking about that.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, you've got it too, Pam. You've got it too.
All right, will you call Jennifer comes again? Tell him.
We are related to Elvis. I should pull it up on my phone. If you go to what's it called, Relative Finder. Relative Finder. Relative Finder. He's
Not family tree.
he's one of our cousins. He's a cousin.
Maybe it's just you that's
It's
related.
through mom's side of the family. Do that.
Anyway,
So we're
you made out with your
related.
cousin.
She made out with her
You
cousin.
made out with your cousin, Mom.
School of people.
Kissing cousins.
Oh, wait,
Kissing
wait,
Cousins.
Love you.
Bye. I'll show a screenshot of that. We like to tease my mom. She didn't make out with Elvis. He just gave her a kiss. Okay, so here is how we are related. Andy Williams, Hank Williams, Roy Orbison, Will Rogers. Okay, scrolling down, Glenn Miller. Here we go, the Osmonds. And finally, there he is, Elvis Aaron Presley. So he is our 12th cousin once removed. And we're related to him through this guy right here, John Wheeler of Town End. So I think first we need to take a trip to Memphis, Tennessee, and then we need to hop on a plane and visit good old Cranfield, Bedfordshire, England. So as I was thinking about Elvis's good looks, I couldn't help but wonder if he had any Native American heritage. I don't know, when I look at his face, I look at those cheekbones, I can't help but wonder. So I went and visited his family tree. I felt to focus on his mother's side because he looks most like his mother. So there's his mother, Gladys Smith, and if you look at her father, here he is, Robert Smith. There's a tiny bit of resemblance, but as we go on, we see his wife, Octavia Mansell, and you start to see it a little bit more. Now Robert's dad, Mileage Obadiah, look at his face. It's low quality resolution, but you see it right there in the shape of his face, the nose, the mouth, the eyes. And Elvis was originally blonde. And then you look at his wife, her name's Anne Elizabeth Mansell, and look at that face. You see it right across through the nose and the cheeks. Now here's where it gets really interesting. So Elvis's grandparents, his mother's parents right here, Robert and Octavia, they are cousins through their parents. Robert's mother is Octavia's father's sister, so they're brother and sister. So these two cousins married each other, and the reason this is interesting is because they both have the same Native American heritage. Here is Elvis's great-great-grandfather, John Mansell, who is the son of Mourning Dove, a full-blooded Native American Cherokee. She was Elvis's great-great-great-grandmother through his mother's side. And it is through that family line that many members of this family tree battled with depression. As you can see, Elvis's grandson bears a striking resemblance to this line in the family tree. Unfortunately, he succumbed to his battle with depression in 2020. That brings an end to the male line in the Presley family tree. But Elvis's influence and legacy will forever live on in pop culture and in my mom's memory.